The school year is about to come to an end, and it was a great one for Philadelphia high school athletics. A year in review, next on SFBN Talks High School Sports. Talk about that game and that team in particular. And let's talk about some of the players. Yeah, so let's talk about that. Welcome to the final edition of SFBN Talks High School Sports here in 2014-2015. And Emily, I cannot believe we are here. It's the last episode of our inaugural season.
I know, I can't believe it either. It's been so much fun. The season's gone by so quickly.
And you think about it, there was just so much to recap. You know, starting in the fall, football, Archbishop Wood state champs, St. Joe Prep state champs. You know, Imhotep also did very well this year. There's just so many good football teams in this area. I don't know how we're going to talk about it all in this hour.
I know, it amazes me the kind of talent that's right in the Philadelphia area.
Yeah, and even in South Jersey too. I know that was one area that you covered a lot on the show. So many surprises. It was a lot of fun looking at those brackets as well. It was. And in basketball, just Philadelphia area, just so many good basketball players. Neumann Goretti won on the boys and the girls side. Then you had Constitution as well, Roman Catholic winning the state title, Conwell Egan winning the state title. I mean, Philadelphia teams won like half the basketball championships.
Right, basketball especially. It surprises me. The whole state, the best teams are right around Philly. So that goes to show you the great programs that we have around here.
Yeah, and in the spring, you know, there's a lot of these games going on right now. We're heading into states. You know, you take a look at boys volleyball, Archbishop Wood, we've talked to them. They won the Catholic League. They're going to states. You look at softball, the suburban teams we've talked about, you know, like Neshaminy and also Archbishop Bryan in the city, you know, they're ready to go. So many good baseball teams as well. And those games are all pending, you know, in the state tournaments.
Right, I'm excited to see what happens with all the spring teams, you know.
Yeah, and there's so many minor sports that we covered on the show too. You know, you look at soccer, you look at squash,
squash. That was my favorite. That was my favorite to watch.
I mean, so many other good minor sports as well. I don't know how we're going to pack all this stuff into 1 hour.
I don't know how we're going to do either, but we're going to try.
And we've got some special treats for the viewers as well. We're going to recap. Yeah, we're going to recap the season, but we're going to throw a couple little curveballs in there as well. So stay tuned. We've got a fun show for you next on SFBN Talks High School Sports.
Up next is our fall sports recap, right after this.
For over 30 years, the Runaround has serviced southeastern Pennsylvania as the premier team outfitter in the region. Located in Abington, the Runaround serves as a one-stop shop for many of the area's top high school and collegiate athletic programs, as well as numerous travel teams, youth organizations, and corporations. With its top-quality screen printing and embroidery coupled with the best prices in the region, the Runaround is your answer to any team apparel needs.
Hi, I'm Tommy Green, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. When I was in high school, it was very important to me to show scouts what I could do. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you're a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
The Ambler Sports Academy is owned and operated by professional teachers and coaches. We specialize in individual, group, and team training. Book your next baseball or softball birthday party with us or call to learn more about how we can improve your organization by providing coaching clinics, tryout evaluations, and on-the-field training. The Ambler Sports Academy will be offering summer camps at the following locations. Be sure to visit our website today for details. We look forward to helping your players reach their maximum potential.
Welcome back to SFBN Talks. I'm joined today by Christy, Palazzese, and Rushton of Episcopal Academy. You guys are seniors in the field hockey team, so thank you so much for coming back on our show. So explain to me first what it was like to be on SFBN previously and to teach Kapp field hockey, who he's never played before. So was that tough?
Well, he was a pretty good player, actually. It was fun teaching him the sport that we play every day, and I've never been on TV before, so that was just a fun
That was a good experience. Did you guys get a lot of feedback from friends or family about the show?
We did. A lot of our friends saw it, and he was advertising it on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. So a lot of our friends saw it and sent us Snapchats of us on the TV.
I got a lot of Snapchats of you on the TV.
Yeah, and during
really cool.
school, our teachers made comments about it too.
Oh, really?
So,
What'd they say?
they liked it.
They liked it. They thought it was really cool.
Great. And you guys had such a good season, 26-1, and not only a great season, but for your senior year to go out that way. So what was that like to have such a great season for your senior year?
Yeah, it was a great senior year to end on a really exciting season. We won the Interact this year. We were undefeated in league, and we also won the Pacer tournament this year. So that was so exciting. It was a really exciting game too, the championship game. And we only lost one game this year to an unbelievable team that's ranked #1 in the country.
So the only game you lost was to the #1 team in the country.
Yeah,
so that's not bad.
It wasn't that bad, no, and it was a fun game too.
Good.
It was a tough game, but yeah, it was great for us, and I think it made our team stronger.
That's great. And you both are headed to college. Christy, you're going to Duke, North Carolina. So what do your summers look like preparing for that? And I know you mentioned previously to me that you guys got your workout schedule. So what do your summers look like preparing for college?
I mean, we go to the field every day practicing on each other. We're doing our workout packets.
So you guys working together doing
your
workout?
We're working together.
Oh,
we have to.
And I'm actually going to go early, take some summer classes, and then our preseason starts beginning of August. So that's when we start with the team.
And I go down August 9th.
Okay.
So I'm not doing summer classes this summer, but I'll be working at home.
All right, so working hard back
Working
here.
hard at home, my summer packet.
Well, great. And you guys are going to be rivals now, going from teammates to rivals in college. What do you think that'll be like? Are you guys going to be competitive with each other?
It will definitely be weird because, I mean, we do field hockey, we did track in the winter, and then lacrosse in the spring, so we play on the same team all the time.
Right.
We play on the same club team. So that'll be weird, but I think we'll definitely be competitive.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be competitive, but I think it'll be fun too.
Yeah.
Finding a friend and seeing her all the time.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming back on the show. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Let's send it back to Ari.
Thanks, Emily. I'm joined now by Coach Steve Devlin of Archbishop Wood. And Coach, thanks for coming back on SFBN. You're kind of a veteran now. You've been on the broadcast, you've been on the show a couple of times. Talk about your experience so far with SFBN.
Well, I think it's been great. It's a great venue for the kids to get exposure. You guys do a great job promoting high school sports, and I think it's neat for the kids. It's something that they look forward to, and being able to watch them on TV and see you guys on news segments and stuff like that. So I think it's a great avenue for kids to get exposure, and you guys do a good job promoting those high school sports.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate it, and you do a great job at what you do as well.
Thank you.
You know, Archbishop Wood football winning another state championship this year. And you win the Catholic League, you win the district against a very good Imhotep team. You know, talk about your season and the success that you've had yet again.
Yeah, we had a great season. It's always, like I said, it's always good to win your last game, and we had a great group of seniors and great leadership, and you know, I think they really gelled together and bonded, and at the end of the year playing the best football, which is what you want to do as a team. So.
Yeah, and you really had a great senior class this year. You know, Jake Cooper, Ryan Bates going to Penn State, and Jared McClinton going to Villanova. I'm sure there are many others. I mean, talk about this senior class that you had to have such success this year.
Sure, Jake and Ryan, tremendous kids, tremendous leaders, both going to Penn State and have great careers at Penn State. Jared McClinton going to Villanova, Christian Lowen going to Delaware, Justin Rubin's going to Richmond, Jeff Panera's going to Army, and then you got Tommy Cardoza going to Ursinus, Ryan Nair's going to Bloomsburg, with Al Arcangeli going to Bloomsburg. So
that's a long
there's
list,
some
Coach.
great kids and great leaders, and they're going to be missed. Besides football, take football out of it, they're just great kids.
So what are you doing to prepare for next fall? You have the summer, and you have some positions to fill, some potential new players starting. So what's your plan now for the summer to get ready for end of August?
Yeah, they're working hard in the weight room and doing their speed and agility stuff, and you know, in the summer they'll be outside running around, and then you know, they get some work to do, but they're in progress now. They're working hard, and I think they'll be fine. And we have some kids coming back that played and started on that team, like quarterback Anthony Russo and Max Schwartz, Sebastian Silva, Kurt Stengel. So we have some guys, James Gillespie, who stepped, had key roles last year in that state championship team that'll be back for us, helping us win another one this year.
Now, I'm always impressed with the non-conference schedule that you put together. I know last year we opened up our broadcast schedule with your game against the DeMatha, one of the best teams in the state of Maryland. What do you have this year? I know you have your Philadelphia Catholic League rivals, but what do you have for your non-league schedule coming into 2015?
Sure, we play a team from New Jersey, Allentown in New Jersey. They won a state championship last year over there. Then we play Simon Gratz from the city, who's well coached, got a tremendous amount of athletes, and I think it might be one of the favorites to win the public league this year. And then we play in LaSalle and the West Catholics, who are always great football teams and well coached, and so it should be exciting.
Well, thank you very much for joining us again here on SFBN Talks. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
We'll be right back right after this.
A special feature with a familiar face right after the break.
Hi, I'm Marty Bystrom, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. In my experience in Major League Baseball, I know how important it is for high school athletes to gain exposure. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you are a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
I'm Jack Kapp. Welcome back. I am now joined by Jack Kapp. And Kapp, we sent you out to a lot of different schools, learned many different sports.
Yes, we did.
But today, it's time to flip the script, and you're going to teach us about officiating. Tell us a
It
little
is
bit
something
about
I like to do. I like to teach officiating, and I do it quite often with younger people, trying to give them an opportunity. I've been officiating for total 45 years in 3 different sports: fall soccer, winter basketball, spring baseball, and put in probably 8,000 to 10,000 games, officiating assignments over those years. So, yeah.
So you would say you know your stuff?
I would say that I definitely know my stuff, and I don't think I've ever gotten a call wrong.
Oh.
Okay, maybe a couple here and there.
Well, let's take a look and see how we did.
Okay, sounds good. So when I teach officiating, the first thing we go over is how to blow the whistle. And it may seem like a simple thing, but whistles have actually changed a lot over the years. They used to be the P-type whistle with a ball in it, and now they're what they call the chamber whistle. So it has to be blown a little differently. It's got to be blown dead center, and it's got to have a staccato burst to it.
Okay.
So you want to put the whistle in your mouth, clench it, and then when a violation or a foul occurs, you want to blast it for almost a full second right down the middle, so that when you blow that whistle, everybody in the arena knows that you have a violation or a foul. When we blow a whistle, we're indicating several different things. Number one, it could be a violation, traveling, double dribble, backcourt, any type of violation. The other type is, of course, a foul. And there is a slight difference in the stoppage of the clock. Now, we're doing high school mechanics here, so in a violation situation, your hand goes straight up, and it's just like my hand is here. So your fingers are closed, your hand is up, and it's pretty much straight over your head, as far as you can go over your head. It's simultaneous, by the way. So when the violation occurs, it's like that. There's your stoppage of clock, okay? Violation. Now, stoppage of clock for a foul is a closed fist. Everything else remains the same, except the fist is closed, like this, okay? So now let's take a violation through to the 4 steps of a violation. Okay. So first call we're going to make is a simple travel call. Okay. Okay. So now, let's say I'm facing, I'm the trail official. I'm facing in this direction. Okay. I'm going to get a traveling call. So I'm going to go. I got to travel this way, and the ball's coming in over here.
Okay.
Okay. See how I tried to keep my head on the players?
Yeah. So what about backward violation?
Let's move to a backward. Let's use this red line right here. Okay. Okay, so now I'm the trail. By the way, only the trail calls backward violation. Lead would never call that in a 2-man system, okay? We're going in this direction, and the violation is occurring on this line. Okay. So this would be like this. Backcourt violation this way, ball's coming in over here. Okay. So you see there's a pattern developing here. It's always the same. It's stop the clock, indicate the type of violation, indicate the direction the ball's going to go, indicate where the ball will then be placed for inbound.
So backcourt would be.
Basketball, you're refereeing, there's 5 types of defensive fouls only. Okay, as opposed to what the fans think. You'll be hearing fans screaming over the top and reach and that type of thing. Those are not fouls by the book. So there's only 5 fouls you can make. One is a push, okay? One is a hold, just like in football. It's the same call, hold. Another one is a hand check, and that's relatively new, this signal, but it is the proper signal as opposed to a hold. Okay, the other one is a block like this. Okay. And
or you can go like this.
No, college is this.
College is this.
NBA and college is this. High school is this. Okay. Okay. And the last call is a hit. Right. So we have hit, push, block, hold, and hand check.
Hand check.
Those are your 5 fouls. Okay. Those are the only acceptable calls a referee may make on a defensive player.
What sport will Emily officiate? Stay tuned for part 2 after the break.
I got the personal attention I needed. I had a lot of options when I graduated, and as far as I'm concerned, this is my dream job.
Ryder prepared me for my NBA career, and I also got the education that I need for life after basketball.
I had 6 teaching internships while I was at Ryder, and right after graduation, I started a career that I love.
So we want to teach you the very basic stuff. You start in the A position as a base umpire. There's 2 umpires, 2 umpire system. Generally in high school, there's a Umpire behind the plate, he's the plate umpire, and the base umpire is out on the field. The first position is what they call the A position. We keep it nice and simple because we're not complicated guys. Okay, now, your responsibilities are mainly to call runners safe or out at first base. The first thing you do is look where the ball is hit and position your body in a way that you are not in the line of the throw, because number one, you don't want to block the vision of the guy throwing the ball, but number two,
I don't want to get hit. I know that.
You don't want to get hit with the ball. So,
out. Safe. Out. Safe. Okay, and what are the motions for safe and out?
what you're looking for, with your eyes on the bag, you're listening for the sound of the ball hitting the glove. Right. So if the sound of the ball hits the glove sooner than the runner hits the bag, then he is out. Some of you go, out, like that.
Out.
That's right, yeah. So it's like somebody threw you something, you go, like you're catching it, out.
Out.
Excellent.
Out. Safe.
So let's go over to safe call.
Yep.
So we could be really boring, we just go safe, but we don't want to do that. No. Because we want everybody on the field and the stands and players in left field, players in the bench to know it. So we come in there and we go, hey nah.
Yeah, that wasn't even words.
I know, I just made it up as I went along.
So you go, safe.
That's right.
Okay. Right. It's more about the motion than the words.
But once a runner is on first base now, we move to what we call the B position. We keep it nice and simple. Your major responsibility here, your initial responsibility is to call balks.
Okay.
There's 22, maybe more ways to balk.
Okay, that's a lot.
There's a lot of balking going on. So we come up with a balk, we want to kill the play, it's a dead ball. So we want to come right up with both hands open, facing everybody straight up in the air. Balk! Runner, second base.
Okay, so you gotta make sure you direct the runner.
Yeah, second
base.
So
2 hands.
So let's do it. You're going to call a balk.
Yep. So balk, runner, second base.
Correct. That's right.
Is that good?
That's excellent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Balk, runner. Balk, runner.
Things get more complicated when there's more runners on base, or you're not sure of the count. You ask your partner.
Okay. So let's say we have 2 strikes and 1 ball. How am I doing this? How am I telling you?
Show the balls in your left hand and the strikes in your right hand.
Okay.
Balls in your left hand. You can go like this for 2 or this way. Either way, whatever you're comfortable with.
Yep.
Always the balls in the left hand, strikes in the right hand. So 2, 1.
2,
and you hold it up so you can see it. Okay, so let's try it. So I'm going to say,
I'm
going to be behind the catcher and I'll say, my time. Emily, I need a count.
2, 1.
How many out?
What do I say for that?
Look at your clicker.
Well, there's 1. So what?
You go down. 1.
1.
1 out.
Okay.
And I'll just say, thank you.
All right.
My time, my time, my time. Count.
2, 1.
How many down?
1 down.
Thank you. My time, my time, my time. I need a count.
2, 1.
Thank you. And how many down?
1 down.
Thank you. Here we go, guys. Get this. Picture and.
So if I'm the ump that's behind the plate, how do I call a ball, a strike, all of those? Okay?
So you can say strike 1.
Strike.
Right?
Okay.
Or you can make it more dramatic.
All right. How would you do it dramatic?
Ha! That's a strike.
Okay.
Now you're not required to say anything on a ball. If you don't say anything, it's a ball. Inside, outside, low or high. You can say that, it's not required.
Gotcha.
But it's a little nicety that we do. You know.
So what about, we're on the 3rd strike. You said there's a real dramatic way to end that.
Yeah, there's you can do a very dramatic thing. I mean,
so how do you do it?
You go in there and it's like you, let's say pitch is coming in this way. So you come out like this and you go, strike 3, and you pull it and you go like this, bang, like that. So the whole motion is like, strike 3, out.
It's like a karate move.
Yeah, it's like a karate move. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
So you go,
batter's out. You can say
strike
batter's
3,
out. Yeah.
batter's out.
That's it. You're pulling it.
Okay.
Excellent.
Pulling it. Okay.
Boom, batter's out. Yeah, just like that.
Strike 3,
they call them punching them out. Bang, you're going to punch them out.
Okay, so strike 3, you're out.
That's it. Good.
Okay.
Not bad. That's good. Very good.
So I got the basics.
I think you have the basics.
All right.
Yeah, you're ready to umpire.
Okay.
Put a mask on.
Yep.
Some
Send
shoulder
me out there.
pads.
Put me out there. Strike 3, batter's out.
Don't go away. Winter sports next on SFBN Talks.
Welcome back to SFBN Talks. We are now joined by Arrigale, head coach for Neumann Goretti boys basketball coach. Thanks for coming back on the show.
My pleasure. It's always good to be here with you guys.
Yeah, I know that you've been on the show. You were here on the web chat and we were talking about the big Roman game. You know, that was regular season. I remember you said, no, it's just regular season, but you faced them again in the PCL championship, and you know, they got the better half of you in both games, but they were phenomenal games.
Yeah, their size got us in the first part of that game, and then we really needed a lot of energy to come back. We had a couple opportunities to take the lead on the foul line, and unfortunately we missed them. And this was by far my best foul shooting team I've ever coached. We made them in just about every other game except that one. But I think it had a little bit more to do with us being a little tired from the comeback than the guys not being able to step over and make them.
Well, even though you lost to Roman Catholic, you got into the state tournament at the 3A level, and you made the run to the state championship where you faced off against, who else? Archbishop Carroll, who you see during the year in the PCL. It was a great game. You end up winning your second in a row, 5 out of your last 6 in the state championship. I mean, talk about that experience and that game against Carroll.
Well, it was a different challenge for us this year because we won the Catholic League the last couple of years and went on to the state. So this year was a different challenge. And when we saw the brackets, we knew if we played well, it was inevitable. We were probably going to face them, another Catholic League team in the final, and another, Catholic League war. So for us, it was, to get over those first couple games, and then we had to go through them to get to them. So, I mean, we had a tough road, and, our guys responded really well. I was proud of them, proud of the accomplishment that we were able to win that game.
Well, you lose your senior leader, Lamar Fresh Kimball, and he really played a couple of different roles during his time at Neumann Goretti. Junior year, he was kind of Jaquan Newton's wingman, and then this past year, he really stepped up and led the team to another state title. Talk about Fresh and what he did for your team.
Yeah, he really evolved as his career went on. I mean, he played a little as a freshman and then started sophomore through senior year. And sophomore, he was a facilitator for, Jaquan, Johnny Davis, and the likes. And then he had to kind of step up to scoring a little bit as a junior and be Jaquan's wingman, as you say, or more like a Robin to Jaquan's Batman. And then this year he had to really take this young group of guys that were very inexperienced under his wing and to kind of lead us in the right direction. And he did a very good job. And, like I said, a lot of people, those guys really giving him a hard time after last year's state championship game saying, what are you going to do without us? What are you going to do without us? Well, he did pretty well. They won 29 games, won the state title. So it was really, real rewarding for him at the end of the year.
And you mentioned the young guys that you have. You have a great team coming back. Vaughn Covington, Quad A Green, Zane Martin, Cosby Roundtree up front. I mean, talk about this team that you have going into 2015, 2016.
Yeah, these guys grew a lot over this past year. Hopefully they're working hard, which I know they are. They're already starting to improve, and we're excited about what we could be next year. I mean, we're going to lose Fresh a lot, but, hopefully Rasheed Brown and some of the other guys will be ready to step up with that core group, and I'm looking forward to it. We'll see what happens.
Well, hopefully next year we'll have you guys on SFBN, and you've been on SFBN on our online broadcast, and of course you're here on our show. Talk about what your experience has been like on SFBN, and maybe the feedback that you got from being on our show.
Oh, it's been fun. I'm happy to do it because you guys are really bringing the high school sports in this area to the forefront, and it's great for the kids. It's good exposure for our league, and it's just great to be a part of. I probably have a few other things I could be doing today, but you text me a few times, and I said, what, I'm going to make best effort to get there for these guys, and because it's a great thing that you guys are doing for the high school sports in this area, and I'm glad to be here.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate your time. Congratulations again, and I'm sure we'll be talking again soon.
Great.
Arrigale of Neumann Goretti, and now we'll send it over to Emily Henning.
Thanks, Ari. I'm joined by 3 members of the Neumann Goretti girls basketball team, Cece Cryor, Ciani Martin, and AJ Timbers. Ladies, thank you for coming back on our show.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
And when you guys were on the show previously in the season, you taught Kapp to play basketball. So what was that like? Was he a good sport about it? Did he actually master these moves?
Yeah, he had fun. You could tell he enjoyed himself. We all were just...
What kind of stuff did you guys show him?
I showed him the step back into the jump shot. He worked hard at it too.
Did he get it?
Yeah, I'm gonna say he got it for the most part.
We'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say he got it.
Yeah, I taught him the Euro step.
And I taught him the reverse layup.
And did you guys get feedback on the show from family and friends that watched?
Yeah,
a lot of people watched it.
And they said we did great. We look very nice on there too.
Oh, you do. And you guys, you had such a great season. You went undefeated. You're #1 in the country. Went 30-0. Last season you were undefeated up until the state championship. So this season it was the goal, like unfinished business. you wanted to win the state championship, you set that goal and you accomplished that. And your senior year, so explain to me what that feels like.
I mean, we finished our unfinished business. It felt great. It was a blessing. It was a dream come true. It was what we worked for and what we had our mindset on since the day we lost the state championship game last year. So we worked as one, and they'll tell you too.
Yeah, I mean, like, winning a state championship itself is big, but the fact that we went 30-0, like, that's never been done before. Like, nobody has ever heard of something like that. And we had our eyes on the prize ever since August. Ever since losing that game, we knew what we had to do. We knew what we had to do better to win that state championship, and we did it.
Yeah, what an accomplishment. And Ciani and AJ, you're continuing to play together at the college level at Towson. Are you excited to continue to play as teammates?
Yeah, I'm very excited. Me and Ciani already going in there knowing how each other plays.
The chemistry is there on the
Chemistry is still
court.
there, yeah. So it'll be fun. I think like the family tradition that we have here, like at Neumann Goretti with our team that we had, and us carrying that on to Towson University, I think it's going to be good. It's going to add, you know, more chemistry to Towson's team.
Right.
So I think it should be good.
And what do your summers look like? When do you guys head there and start practicing?
June 27th.
June, that's soon. Are you guys all excited?
Yeah, we're excited.
And Cece, how are you preparing for Georgia Tech?
Well, I leave pretty soon, June 16th. I'm just preparing to go there a long way.
Yep.
All the way from Philly, but I mean, I'm prepared, I'm ready. I've been doing push-ups, doing little stuff to make sure my body is somewhat fit to prepare for getting even more fit. So I'm just ready.
What made you choose Georgia Tech?
Just the whole atmosphere of the school. It's very welcoming when you get down there, and the coaches, the players, everyone, not even besides basketball, the other people there at Georgia Tech. So it was just like everything that was there just fit me. So
it was a perfect fit for you.
Perfect fit, yeah.
Well, thank you, ladies, so much for coming back on the show, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Back to you.
Coming up next is a special edition of the Writers' Corner. Don't go away.
I got the personal attention I needed, I had a lot of options when I graduated, and as far as I'm concerned, this is my dream job.
Ryder prepared me for my NBA career, and I also got the education that I need for life after basketball.
I had 6 teaching internships while I was at Ryder, and right after graduation, I started a career that I love.
The Sports Fan Base Network, this area's leader in high school sports broadcasting, is heading to TCN with a brand new talk show. Join us every other Wednesday at 6 o'clock for SFBN Talks High School Sports. We'll have everything from interviews with players, coaches, writers, and more, plus analysis, rankings, highlights, and in-depth features on major topics in the Delaware Valley high school sports community. Tune in every other Wednesday, 6 p.m. on TCN for SFBN Talks High School Sports.
The Writers' Corner is brought to you by El Dion Pagilari State Farm Insurance Agency. For all your insurance and financial needs, please contact El Dion and his friendly team at 215-485-5556 or visit their website, epinsured.com.
Welcome back. It's time for a special edition of the Writers' Corner. We are now joined by Aaron Ace Carter of the Philadelphia Inquirer, Ed Morrone of the Northeast Times, and Sean Lerman of WBCB. Thank you guys for coming back on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Larry.
Good to be back. I'm sure you're glad to be back because it's been a long time. I think September, October. But, you know, we talked Suburban 1 football at the time. And, you know, you've seen a lot of those teams. They had very good seasons, especially Pennsbury.
Pennsbury, another great year. Even by the high Pennsbury Falcons standards, they were the class of Suburban 1 once again. Behind head coach Galen Snyder, another really good year. And for Pennsbury, it's always all about the running game. Charles Snorway, a great job in the backfield for them. Another big year for Chuck and the Pennsbury Falcons.
And Ed, when you were on during football season, we talked a lot about George Washington and Ron Cohen. He's been at the helm for a long time, and they had a pretty good year, not a great year, but a pretty good year. But he decides to take a step down from the head coaching position at GW.
Well, just finished his 30th season at the helm. He won 12 public league championships, 261
wins in his career, which is second all-time in city history. And Washington played their last game on Thanksgiving, and Ron didn't announce it until February, so he took some time, made sure it was the right thing that he wanted to do, the right time for him and his family. He and his wife, Mimi, have been married for around 40 years, so now they can finally spend some time together. He's got 2 daughters who are grown with a handful of grandchildren, so it was just it was time to be a husband and grandpop, you know, while he was, you know, still could, and you know, it was one of those things where we knew eventually he was going to go, and it's going to be really, really hard without seeing him on that sideline next year. Skip Singletary, you know, has some big shoes to fill. Washington is confident in him, but man, no more Ron Cohen. Who would have thought this day would come?
Well, we knew it would be coming, and you know, he was a great coach. And speaking of great coaches, Philadelphia basketball has a lot of really good coaches. You talk about Carl Arrigale, Neumann Goretti, Chris McNesby, Roman Catholic, Frank Ciola over at Commonwealth League, and Rob Moore Constitution, and all 4 of those coaches won state championships, and it was a clean sweep for the city of Philadelphia. Great season in basketball.
Absolutely. What you saw was utter domination. Single A Constitution was led by Kamar Williams and Ahmad Gilbert. Then Conwell Egan, you talked about, wins their first state championship, led by Stevie Jordan and Lepre McCray Pace. Quade Green and Neumann Goretti. Quade really stepped up and emerged as one of the, not just one of the top sophomores in the city, but just the top player in the city in general. And then last but certainly not least, Roman Catholic. They finally get over the hump in the Catholic League Championship. They capture another a state championship led by Tony Carr and Nazir Bostic. So a great year all the way around.
Yeah, it really was, and you know, it's hard to pick out one great moment, and especially in Suburban 1. I think there's a lot of great teams there, and it's a wide area to cover. For you, looking at you know, all the seasons in 2014, 2015, did you have one moment that stood out to you?
See, for me, Ari, I really didn't have a single moment. For me, it's all those little moments after the game when you go down and you talk to the kids after a big win or even sometimes a tough loss, and you get to see them in those first little steps, a lot of them going off to play in college and getting used to talking to us in the media, and to see those first little steps and get to talk to the kids after the games. To me, those moments were the best moments of the season.
Yeah, we talked to a lot of student athletes from a variety of sports, and you know, Ed, we are talking mainly here about football and basketball, but I know in the Northeast you cover a lot of the sports, even the quote-unquote minor sports. Anything from those minor sports stand out to you from this year?
It might be minor to the masses, but don't call soccer at Archbishop Ryan minor. The girls soccer program, led by head coach Ryan Haney, just won their 3rd consecutive Catholic League championship, doing so in dominating fashion. Haney has now won 5 Catholic League titles in 10 seasons. Doesn't matter what sport it is in the Catholic League. That's really hard to do. He's been fantastic, an alum of Archbishop Ryan, and despite losing some key players, Jasmine Gonzalez and Caitlin McFadden, the all-state sweeper and goalkeeper, well, they still have scoring machines Taylor Woods and Jules Blank coming back as seniors. A lot of talented underclassmen in the championship game. A freshman got the game-winning goal, so more of the same probably coming for Archbishop Ryan as they go for number 4 on the girls soccer field next year.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all if they get number 4, and we had a chance to talk to them earlier in the year on SFBN Talks. You know, great players, and you know, Ace, you've talked to a ton of players all over the Philadelphia area, and you know, there's a lot of sports to cover, a lot of seasons. For you, what is maybe a moment that stood out to you this year?
Yeah, it's hard to pick just one because there's so many great performances, but one that stands out to me, the championship run that Roman Catholic made. They finally get over the hump in the Catholic League Championship. They end Neumann Goretti's 6-year stranglehold on the championship. They finally get over at the Palestra, packed crowd, and one of the performances that stood out to me the most was Nazir Bostic, recently committed to Penn State, but in that game in the Palestra against Neumann Goretti, I haven't seen anyone hungrier all season long. 26 points, I think, in that game, 15 rebounds, and you could just see he was determined not to let his team win, not to let his team lose.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, he was really good. I mean, I was there at the Palestra as well. It was a great game, great atmosphere, and it was one of the better moments, I agree, in Philadelphia sports this year. And, you know, we've had a lot of great moments. We've covered a lot here on SFBN Talks, and I've loved talking on the Writers' Corner with all you guys. So thank you again for coming back for our final episode. Ed Morrone, Ace Carter, Sean Lerman, thank you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Ari.
It's been a blast.
We'll be right back right after this.
Keep watching. Spring sports are up next.
Welcome back to SFBN Talks. I'm joined by Brendan Ledwith, the head coach of Archbishop Wood boys volleyball, and Jack Waltrich, you're a senior on the team. So you guys had such a great season. You're undefeated, won the Catholic League, From a coaching standpoint, what does that feel like, that accomplishment?
You know, it's a great accomplishment for the kids. You know, they made their goal last year, right at the end of the year, to win the Catholic League this year and keep going forward after that. So.
And they did it.
Yeah, it's great for the program and great for the kids.
And from a member of the team, what was that like? Did you guys celebrate? You're a senior too,
Yeah.
so to have that accomplishment in your last year, how was that?
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was definitely our biggest goal of the season, so now we won it. It's a great feeling.
And when you guys came in, you came into our studio mid-season and you were saying all these goals and you finally accomplished them. So what was that like being on our show then and looking back and you guys achieved everything you had hoped?
Yeah, it's really cool to look back and see what our goals were at the beginning of the season, now to realize that we've accomplished them.
And what was that like being on our show, being on TV? Do you have a lot of friends and family watch?
Yeah, a lot of my family watched it. My little brothers and sisters really loved, seeing their big brother on TV.
Oh,
so.
that's great. How about you? You have friends and family watch the show when you were on mid-season?
Yeah, we had some great people watching the show and had a good time with that. And the show also gave us an opportunity to showcase boys volleyball, which doesn't get a lot of exposure normally. So.
Right. And you guys now you're preparing for states. So what goes into that? What are you working on? What are you preparing for going in to face some of the best teams in the state?
Well, we're having a lot of practices and really focusing on every game one at a time because every team's different. So we just need to prepare for each game individually.
Right.
One of the big things from coaching is we get to go, kind of run around across the state and see who we're playing and get a look at the competition that's out there.
Okay, so
and
you're
really
scoping out all the teams you could be playing?
Yeah, and it helps us plan for our team to kind of move forward as well.
Are there any specific things you're working on the court, anything you think you need to prove as a team or what?
Our biggest thing always is, has been a level of consistency and just continuing that throughout the year.
Right. Well, thank you guys so much for coming back on the show. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Let's send it back to Ari.
Thanks, Emily. I'm now joined by members of the Agnes Irwin girls lacrosse team, Kate White, Laura Pansini. We had you guys on before, and Hannah Keating. You're the newbie, so thank you guys for coming back and welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So, Kate, it feels like it's only been a few weeks since we had you on in the spring season, and did you like your experience on SFBN Talks? What did you think of it?
I definitely loved it. I thought it was a great experience. I'd never done something like that before, and it was just great to sort of try something new.
And Laura, what type of feedback did you get? Family, friends, teachers?
A bunch of my friends said they saw it all over social media and they tuned in as well.
And Hannah, did you get a chance to watch the segment with your teammates, maybe, family?
I did. We watched it as a team. That was really fun.
Yeah. How'd you like it? They do a good job?
Yeah, it was awesome. So exciting.
Did you think you'd be sitting in the hot seat on TV now?
I didn't expect it, but I'm really excited to be here.
Well, thank you for coming. It's nice to meet you. And, Kate, when we were talking, we talked to your coach, Coach Duck, about the season that you're having. And, you finished winning the Interact, #1 seed going into the state tournament. Talk about the year that your team has had.
It's really been a great year. We've beaten 3 state champs from Florida, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey. And it's definitely been, those games have been awesome. And we also have some really tough Interact competition as always. And it's just been really fun and we're really looking forward to finishing strong.
Yeah, only 1 loss this year, #6 in the country, and that's just phenomenal. And Laura, you actually beat one of the best teams, and not only this year, but over the last few years, Morristown in New Jersey. I know when I talked to Chris Goldberg of Philly Lacrosse, they hadn't lost in 80-some games, and you guys were able to knock them off. Talk about that game.
It was a very fun game. It was very intense. We beat them 8-7, so it was really close until the last minute, but we pulled it out, so it was good.
And Hannah, you're a junior, Kate's a junior, Laura's a junior. We had Sarah Platt on, she's a junior. So a lot of talented players coming back, especially after the success that you guys have had this year. Are you pumped for next season?
Yeah, we're all so excited. I mean, we've played together this entire season, and we're really excited for next year to keep getting better and keep working together.
Well, thank you guys for coming on. Kate and Laura, thanks for coming back. Hannah, it was nice to meet you. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank
you.
We'll be right back right after this.
Welcome back. You probably don't recognize us because we're usually on the other side of the camera. I'm the director-producer of SFBN Talks.
And I'm assistant director, producer of SFBN Talks. We have a lot of fun making the show. We try to make it as interesting and informative as we can.
And it's a lot of hard work, but we wanted to show our fans out there some behind-the-scenes videos and pictures, and even some bloopers.
Take a look.
Oh, hello there. I'm Ari Bluestein, the host of SFBN Talks High School Sports on the Comcast Network, and we're about to give you a look here behind the scenes of the show. As you can see, we have a call center behind us. This is the Payroll Service Solutions office that houses our studio. So you just take a step into the office here. You take a look at our beautiful living room set. And this is what you see on the show SFBN Talks. And you take a look behind me, we have a lot of pictures of a lot of the players and teams that we cover here on SFBN Talks. And all you have to do is take a couple of steps back, and you see the edge of our walls, really not that big, but hey, we make it look good on TV. And you know what? Speaking of TV, all we have to do is move the TV right behind me, and we head on over back behind the walls. Come on. See, behind the walls of our first set, we have the Writers' Corner. And this is the set that you see many weeks. We bring on writers from the area, sit on down right in this stool. We have pennants behind us that complete this set, donated to us by the schools, a lot of the schools that we cover. So now that you've seen the behind the scenes here of SFBN Talks, make sure you tune in every other Wednesday at 6 p.m. on the Comcast Network. Talks High School Sports.
Cut. Why do birds fly?
All right, main camera's rolling. They're all-star recruiting.
I messed up anyway. Sports. We wanted to share with you a few of our favorite segments from. Oh boy.
Next on SFBN Talks PM.
But it didn't.
I know, I saw you turn that camera on. So
Okay, this is Act 1, Take 3.
Suburbs and Jersey
there's some
Delaware
good
a little
football
bit.
going on down there. So
Yeah,
let's get into
absolutely.
it.
And we'll continue on with our basketball conversation when we return here on SFBN Talks High School Sports.
Did I say football at the end? I did.
Act 1, Take 3. Okay, this is Act 4, Take 3.
Act 2, take 5.
Act 1, Take 2. Act 4, Take 1. This is Act 1, Take 2. This is Act 5, Take 1. 1A, Take 2. This is Act 3, Take 2. This is Act 1, Take 1.
This is going to be Scene 3. Scene 3, Take 3. 20:00:13.
Central's doing. Some of the disappointment from sorry.
That's okay.
Yes.
Cut.
That's for the outtakes.
Wait. Shininess. I'm sweating.
I think along with Roman, we screwed this up already, didn't we? Because he said Larry Kimball.
For the future, as we cut and take on.
All right.
The school year is about to. Wait, no. Yes. Best one. The last one. Take.
I'm using it.
And field hockey.
All right.
Take it away, Jack Cat. More about it, and who better to send out than our own Jack Cat.
weeks. We'll see you next time on SFBN Talks High School Sports. I want to do that again because right as Emily looked at me, I turned away.
Preview on television, all next on SFBN Talks High School Sports.
Okay.
Sorry, I did that. I don't know why I did that. I'm sorry. What did I say?
Am I closing it in any way? Or? Okay.
It's good?
Yeah, good.
All right.
Sweet.
Excuse me, Penridge is also a very good team. North.
We'll take a look all around the Delaware Valley coming up next here on SFBN Talks High School Sports.
Who is it?
Up next, a special feature with a familiar face. Up next.
Brooklyn Broadwater certainly had out laughing. There aren't many high schools in this area that play squash, but it's one of the fastest growing sports in the entire country. We want to learn a little bit more. Oh boy, forget it. I didn't even pay attention to Emily tonight. Well, that about wraps it up for this season of SFBN Talks High School Sports. We really enjoyed putting on the show for you. I hope you enjoyed watching everything. I want to thank all of our guests who came on the show, not only today, but for the entire school year. We appreciate the support of all of the schools in the Philadelphia area. Thank you again for watching, and everyone enjoy your summer.
Select video equipment for SFBN Talks has been provided by DMP Video. DMP Video. You provide the moment, we'll capture the memories. For more information about our videography services, please go to our website at www.dmpvid.com.
Thank you for watching this episode of SFBN Talks High School Sports. If you liked what you saw and would like to support SFBN, head over to patreon.com/SFBN to become a patron.
The Sports Fan Base Network, this area's leader in high school sports broadcasting, is heading to TCN with a brand new talk show. Join us every other Wednesday at 6 o'clock for SFBN Talks High School Sports. We'll have everything from interviews with players, coaches, writers, and more, plus analysis, rankings, highlights, and in-depth features on major topics in the Delaware Valley high school sports community. Tune in every other Wednesday, 6 p.m. on TCN for SFBN Talks High School Sports.